So just about done stripping the tub. Already got one seat out, and yeah, you can really take a look at that now. That really sprayed right in there, didn't it? Yeah, I can't wait to cover that up. But as with any plan goes, I already hit somewhat of a snag. I have all the bolts out except this one, and they all came out very nice after the struggle I had last year. But let me show you what's wrong with this one. Unfortunately, I really should have, I guess, dipped this in port 15 or something. Right there's the bolt, and it's kind of hard to tell, but it's kind of expanded a little bit, and everything around the bolt, oh yeah, just falling apart. The layer, it's not like I can't punch my finger through here. You know what I mean? It's solid, but everything around is really crumbling. So as soon as I'm actually done with this bed liner, I'm going to have enough time the rest of this week, and I'm going to get under here and I'm going to do a whole nother coat of port 15. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys underneath here, show you how a year of port 15 is held up too. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit this again with another coat, which I'm going to do a much better job than I did last year. I already ordered a whole nother quart of port 15, which will be more than enough to cover it. But unfortunately, this is a little expanded. It's kind of rotted away. I think I've already tried to pull it through twice, and I'm really nervous about snapping the head or something. I'd rather not have that happen, so I might sand the bottom of this a little bit to just make it slip through. That's the only thing I can really think of, but yeah, I'll give it a shot, try to turn it a few more times. If that doesn't work out, I'll have to get creative. Got that thing out. That sucker is hot too. I can feel it right now, really hot. It ended up just taking a little bit of WD-40 and a lot of strength. But it's out, and I know you can't really see it, trying to get a good focus on here against something. Come on. It's kind of hard to see, but trust me, right in the middle there, it's a little rusty, and it expanded a little bit, I think. I think it's a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is sand it down real good, probably sand off the edge, try to make that a little more smaller, just so it doesn't have to be forced through the threading again. And along with all the other bolts I have for the seats and all the bolts I have for my fender flares, just going to dip those in port 15. Don't have to worry about it anymore. Alright, so I've got just about everything out now. I'm making pretty good time. Pulled out all the plugs, the seats, the mats. As I'm going along here, I'm thinking about a few things, like up here, what was it? What was I thinking of? Oh, up here I was thinking of maybe expanding this where the door stops here. I was thinking about maybe bringing this up a little bit more to meet the piece here. I don't know, just from a distance, I mean, it looks fine. I don't have any problems with it, but I think going up a little bit more might be nice. Yeah, the other thing I was thinking of, that's right. This is another spot I just thought I'd show off where I just could not get you could not get in with the gun here. Because I'm also going to have this, remember this? If anyone does, I remembered as soon as I pulled it out that this is like hardwired in, even though it shouldn't be hardwired in. I'm not sure how that happened, but this, I'll just have to work around this. I worked around it last time. It should be a lot easier this time. Just made me think how much taping I got to do. I got to do a lot of masking off. Oh gosh, that's always fun. That's just like tedious work. It's not hard, and once you do it, it's, you know, you're good. You don't have to worry about overspray. But boy, that's going to take me like an hour. The other thing I was thinking about down here was my pedals are really worn, and I've seen some cool aftermarket pedals, but I was almost thinking about bedlining the pedals. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if that's a good idea. It means they're already pretty slippery, so I don't see how the bed liner would make it any more slippery. So I'm going to think about actually, like, maybe take the Hercule liner and see if they'll adhere to the pedals here. Yeah, I don't think they look half bad, actually. Alright, so I started going at it with some sanding blocks, and it is wearing down. That's the thing about this. Like I said, I do believe I properly prepped this when I did it, because none of it is peeled, and it is rather strong. But just to give you guys a demonstration, which is the last thing I really wanted to do before I started taking this all off and hit it again, was just to give you an idea of just how strong it is. So taking like a sanding block, and actually as I'm doing this, I'm feeling a lot more what's the term, wear down on this, like friction. I'm getting a lot more friction on this than I would if I was sanding like, you know, paint like this. I'm really picking up a lot more heat sanding the bed liner. So it is a little strong, and as you keep going on it, you can see it's coming off, and I got the whole thing here, you know, versus that. Just I got a wet rag here just to show how much of it is actually, you know, really coming off on some of these areas where it looks like there's a lot of dust here. And honestly, it almost looks identical when you're looking at it like this way, but when you feel it, you can really feel it. Like this, got that, and this, very smooth. So it is actually smoothing down, but it's pretty thick. So even though I didn't get full amount of coverage I want, this is actually holding up very well. I'm not sure how much of this I should really be sanding down to get to. I'm not going to hit bare metal because the instructions I looked at did not say I needed to get back to bare metal. It said I should be able to just bring the bed liner down to smooth, and I should be able to spray right over it again, and it should adhere to the bed liner that's smoothed down. So just another example, just I got a knife here just to show you. You can scratch this stuff. It's not, I see some of them, you know, they say they're like really tough, you know, you can't scratch it, but just to show, like, you know, that I've had this and it's held up very good after a year. And like I said, I've thrown a couple things in here. I've thrown a couple bricks, I've thrown pipes, some branches, you know, just some stuff I've had come in and out through here. But like you can scratch this with without you know, much effort at all. I'm not really even trying. So just for the record, it's good stuff, but you know what I mean? It's no different than like another paint where you could just easily scratch paint. All right, got a good amount of sanding done. Hit all the really easy to hit areas. I popped out the electric sander here. That's working pretty good. I'm using 60 grit. This is just what I had on hand. Look, when I went out to, you know, do this the first time, I followed the instructions. I bought everything. It costed me a small fortune, but I got everything I needed. It all came out good. But sometimes you just got to use what you got on hand. And I have a box of different sanding paper, and I still have some of the ones I used from my original project. I had a ton of stuff left over from my original project. So I've been using that on the places where it's bare paint, and been using the sander just to rough up all the easy to get areas. Then I'm going to come in with a higher grit and get in with some of these areas that are tougher to reach to. I looked at the instructions that I found again for re-bedlining. I'll add them in the description of all the videos just to be clear. That was the only instructions I could find. Like U-Pole, Hercule liner, they didn't have instructions on their site to, you know, do this again. So I'm not taking this all the way down to the metal, even though there are some places that it's already happened. I don't have any primer for that, so I'm trying, you know, to avoid that. But just to be clear on this, that even though I was showing that you can scratch up this bed liner, and that, yeah, if you sand it down, it becomes less, you know, less rugged. Like here's a spot I didn't get yet, and it feels fresh, I guess you could say. Here it feels very smooth, and you can kind of tell it's been smoothed down. But even that being said, doing, let's see if I can get this without killing myself, doing this, absolutely pushing down on that, even pushing down on this really hard, you only get a little bit. Like here I just exposed some of it, which is a little bit more than I wanted, but just here I've been going on the whole thing, and it's pretty tough, you know what I mean, because I've already gone over this a couple times. So it's some pretty tough stuff. It's not going to, you know, just come off real easy. So I like it. It is removable. You can work with it like I am right now. But like I said, lasted me a year. That's how good it was. I don't do anything major, but even at that, I think it would still hold up very well. So I'm going to go up there a little bit more. The Hercule liner actually came in. It's sitting inside. As soon as I get it, I'll bring it out here and I'll show you guys when I'm ready to use it. Actually, the quart is a little bit more than I thought it would be. I know it's a quart, but I just wasn't sure how big the quart was really going to be of that, and it looks like it's going to be enough to cover everything in here I want to, and potentially some on my outer tub. So I'm going to keep going at this sanding, trying to get these most areas. I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking for. Probably something like this, like where it's just smoothed down. I don't really want to expose bare metal. But yeah, I'm going to finish with the sander here and get all the big, easy to reach areas, and then I'm going to come in with a block and get as much of the under stuff as I can. And then I'll clean the whole thing out and we'll see how it looks.